if you're watching this and finding yourself feeling a little bit overwhelmed or maybe a bit stressed, then you might be thinking that the oxygen hour feels a bit counterintuitive to spend like your time for the day. Often we're feeling stressed or overwhelmed because there's lots going on, or you want to finish a particular task. Maybe you found some blockages as well. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit today about how the oxygen hour can actually benefit those stressful, anxious and overwhelmed kind of feelings and be part of enhancing your well-being. So if you've seen the oxygen hour workshop, or if you know anything about the way our brain responds to anxiety and overwhelm, then you might be aware that actually this is probably a really unresourceful state to try and do a task or focus on anything. And actually the main priority is really just to find something that's going to reduce those levels of cortisol in your brain and adrenaline, that amygdala response that happens, that really blocks out the front of our brain that does all the like logical thinking and can really focus on a task. So this is just one of the reasons why the oxygen hour can be so beneficial and part of like your business well-being strategy as well. So the main thing I would say is give yourself a chance, space just about an hour to reduce your stress. It can be really beneficial. Ideally, you're not letting stress be a regular occurrence. Perhaps you're even building the oxygen hour in so that it's there to mitigate, to reduce any chances of you getting to that kind of place where you're overwhelmed as well. And that's really what the oxygen hour is there to do, is there to help and prevent and keep your well-being maintained. But sometimes, in work and even in life, we might be faced with a little bit of overwhelm. And so having an oxygen hour blocked in just to see the benefits of it reducing your stress as well can be really, really helpful. If you're deciding to take time out with your stress, the intentions part of your oxygen hour is really, really important. So actually giving yourself permission to have that hour away from maybe whatever it is that you're doing. It can feel quite difficult to do this. And so setting an intention, giving yourself permission, kind of just thinking like, I'm going to just have this hour. It's going to be beneficial to the overall picture of the day, and just gaining some perspective on how those 60 minutes might be really, really vital to being able to have a more stress-free kind of day or even week as well. So think to yourself something like, I'm going to choose to give myself this hour because I know the benefit. Minimise any distractions. There's no point going out in your oxygen hour and then every 5 minutes your phone's kind of pinging and you're checking it and you're seeing something else to do with a task that's maybe stressing you out as well. So the aim here is to kind of prioritise relaxation and just be part of the natural world. So to really benefit from this time, the aim is to help yourself to become relaxed as possible. Stress and especially anxiety are busy little bees in the background. They're those tabs that are open going, what if this, or what if we'd done that? And they're sort of dancing between the past and the future, trying to predict and remedy things as well. So the aim of the oxygen hour, if you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, is just to focus as much as you can on the present. That might sound pretty woo-woo, but really it's just about not allowing our minds to kind of run away with things. And get back into our bodies, because when we're in that heightened stress response, we're really kind of outside of ourselves a lot. And so being able to sense, being able to label, just notice anything that's going on in your body, any thoughts that are going on in your mind. Now, another part, and you'll remember that if you watch the oxygen workshop, that another part of the oxygen hour is about letting go, and particularly for stress and overwhelm, this is a really, really vital part of that oxygen hour. It doesn't have to be kind of a big significant part of it, and it's not about letting everything go. We're not here to gaslight your feelings in any way and pretend that everything's hunky-dory and we'll just kind of let it all blow away in the wind. In fact, quite the opposite. This is about allowing your mind to be as intuitive as it can and to just filter out the bits that are a bit noisy, that don't need to be there. Because what tends to happen is when our brain's in stress response, then it's looking for those things that it needs to kind of watch out for, the things that it sees as risks, what we would have called in very long time ago those woolly mammoths. Today are things like another email pinging into our email box, or perhaps the what ifs, what if the customer doesn't like it, what if the staff member's off sick, all of those things. And so actually focusing in on what you can control and what you can't control, and then thinking really about what is priority for me to kind of focus my time and energy on when I return back from the oxygen now as well. So just allowing those things to go. So you might do a bit of a data dump before you even get outside. That might be part of the process. It might be that with each step that you take as you're walking along, you're kind of envisaging that you're just allowing stuff to kind of drop onto the floor and dissipate from your mind for a while. And of course, these might be things that need attention again in the future, but just for this oxygen hour, you're allowing those things that are creating that busyness in your mind just to run free as well. Now, pause is important in all of the oxygen hour frameworks, but particularly for stress and overwhelm, I really allow yourself to spend some time kind of pausing and in stillness. An easy way to do this is just to focus through those 5 senses. So touching something, smelling, tasting the air. I don't suggest that you go around licking anything, but also thinking about what can you see, and really allowing your focus to kind of go in and out onto detail and then the bigger picture as well can be really helpful. And sensing inwards, so again asking ourselves what it is we're feeling, finding the good parts, like the relaxed parts, like what does it feel like to be relaxed in the space that you're in. Maybe you're surrounded in trees like this, or perhaps you're looking out onto a lake in the park, or even just on your garden, like noticing some of the flowers that are coming through, or maybe bedding down as well. So just allowing yourself to really kind of let go of those moments of stress and anxiety.